Have you ever checked into a hotel and ended up speaking with someone who wasn't really there? That's exactly what happened to me one cold autumn night. And the story I heard, I'll never forget, because by the end, I wasn't sure if I'd just heard it or if I'd actually lived it. I'd been struggling with writer's block for weeks. Nothing inspired me anymore. So I booked myself into this quiet little mountain hotel in Colorado, 2 stories, maybe a dozen rooms, surrounded by pines. In the off-season, it was practically deserted, just 2 families downstairs. I was alone on the 2nd floor. That first night, I sat at my desk, notebook open, staring at the empty page. The wind outside rattled the window. I remember pressing my fingers to my temples, begging for an idea. That's when I heard it. I turned. The door creaked open, and in the hallway stood a young man. Mid-20s, pale skin, dark, tired eyes. His smile was polite, but there was something unsettling about it. "Mind if I come in?" he asked. I hesitated, then nodded. He stepped inside, sat across from me, and without introduction said, "I just wanted to talk." As he spoke, he pulled out a cigarette. "You mind?" he asked. I shook my head. He lit up and the smoke filled the air in spirals. The glow of the cigarette painted his face orange in the dim lamplight. Then he leaned closer. "Want to hear a story?" "My story. You'll like it. Has plenty of suspense." I should have sent him away, but instead I leaned forward, notebook forgotten. And that's when he began. "It happened 3 years ago," he said, "back when I was in college. I'd gone to the mountains to visit a friend's grandfather. A ride was supposed to be waiting for me. Red car, old man at the wheel. He smiled, said he was taking me to the house. The road wound higher and higher, pines pressing in, fog thickening. It felt like we were climbing into another world. Eventually, we turned down a narrow, rocky path, deeper into the woods. Then we stopped. There it was, the 2-story house hidden in the trees. No neighbors, no voices, just silence. The old man brought me inside. It was too big a house for just one person, too empty. He barely spoke, only pointed to a guest room. Later, he served me food at a long wooden table. His eyes never left me, like he was studying me. I tried to call my friend. No service. Walked outside down the trail until finally a single bar appeared. I dialed. "Hey," I said, "I'm here. Your grandpa brought me." Silence on the other end. Then my friend said, "What are you talking about?" "My grandfather's still waiting at the bus stop." My blood went cold. If that wasn't his grandfather, then who was the man inside the house with me? Before I could process it, I felt a hand on my shoulder. I turned. It was him, the old man, standing too close, smiling faintly. But his eyes, they weren't just watching me. They were inside me. I forced a laugh, muttered something about no signal, and walked back with him. But inside, panic churned. Who had brought me here? Why? And how did he know where I'd be? That night, I refused to eat. Told him I'd wait for my friend. He didn't argue, just stared. Finally, he said, "Stay. Tomorrow you'll understand." Then he climbed the stairs, slow, deliberate. I noticed something. The car keys. They were hanging by the front door. He didn't need to go upstairs at all. My stomach dropped. Whatever he was searching for upstairs, it wasn't car keys. That was it. I bolted. I grabbed my bag and sprinted out down the rocky trail, crashing through brush, lungs burning. The forest swallowed me, branches tearing at my clothes. I didn't dare look back. Finally, I reached the main road. My phone lit up with service. called my friend, voice shaking. He said he'd just arrived at his real grandfather's house, and they were coming for me. But even as I hid behind the trees, headlights appeared. The old man's car. He was circling, searching. He knew I was close. I pressed myself against the bark, holding my breath as the lights swept past. Finally, another set of headlights, my friend and his actual grandfather. They pulled me into their car. Safe, at least, for the moment. The next morning we sat down for breakfast. I still couldn't shake the fear. And then my eyes fell on a portrait hanging on the wall. I froze. It was him, the same man who had driven me into the forest. My friend's grandfather looked at me strangely. "That's my older brother," he said. "He's been dead for 12 years. Dead? And worse, he had been obsessed with dark rituals, with controlling spirits. He had died chasing power in graveyards, among ashes and corpses. Yet last night, he was behind the wheel, and he wanted me." The young man's voice cracked. He leaned closer, cigarette trembling between his fingers. I never forgot that laugh, the way he smiled when he knew I was afraid. And sometimes, even now, I still see him. The young man's story ended. The room was thick with smoke. My pulse pounded in my ears. I swallowed. That's terrifying." He nodded, exhaling slowly. Then he said, "Open the window, will you? Too much smoke." I stood, turned, pushed the window open. Cold mountain air rushed in. The smoke drifted out. I breathed finally, but when I turned back, the chair was empty. The cigarette smoldered in the ashtray. But he was gone. No footsteps, no door creak. Just gone. Heart hammering, I ran downstairs. The night clerk stirred from his blanket at the reception desk. "Where's the guy in the next room?" I demanded. The clerk blinked at me. "Next room? Sir? No one stayed on that floor for weeks. If you want, I can show you the register." That's when I realized I hadn't just listened to a ghost story. I'd been part of one. And sometimes, when I sit alone in a hotel room at night, I swear I still smell cigarette smoke in the air, even when no one's there. So, next time you're in a hotel and someone knocks on your door late at night, would you have opened the door? Let me know in the comments.